now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
It's a common expression, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. However, what if the horse's mouth is filled with useful insurance tools? This is the exact case with the Geico app. Yes, the app is free and therefore a gift horse. However, look inside the app and behold, emergency roadside assistance, digital ID cards, bill pay. Get the Geico app. Look it in the mouth. Get amazing services. Thank you.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dez, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you want it in the 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Bold with the topic, sorta like the rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4 for 26 toward the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.
What's good, War Room family? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Devin McMillan. I'm in the building with my brothers. We got Jimmy the Blueprint joining us in just a few minutes. B. Austin trying to get some technical difficulties out of the way. But we got a special guest host with us again. We got Hank Rawson, a.k.a. Billy Bage. What up, Hank?
What's going on, Dad? Good to be back, man.
Not much, man. I'm not even here for the entire duration this evening, but I'm gonna help everybody get things started for the last show of the year. 2017 is coming to an end, so since this is the last show of the year, we'll discuss what's happening in sports right now, but we'll also recap some of our favorite sports stories and topics from the year that was. So keep it locked right here to get in on the conversation, and make sure, if you want to do that, you can join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room, or join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call us directly in about 10 minutes when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. That number, as usual, is 323-410-0012. One more reminder, during the week when we're not live on the air, be sure to check out archived episodes of our show at warroomsports.com, the War Room Sports mobile app, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, and most other places you consume great podcasts. So what up, bros? Another year in the can. Hank, we know about the year, overall. This was like the year of the hashtag Me Too. But sports, was it a good year in sports?
Yeah, I think it was a good year. I think we had a lot of competitive games all across the different sports. We saw a really good series in the NBA between Cleveland and Golden State with the Golden State Bomb Squad that got created with Kevin Durant.
The year of Kevin Durant's punk move, as Barkley would call it.
A little punk move. We had a really good Super Bowl this year. Of course, hopefully this next year we get a Super Bowl with the Eagles in it. We had some good baseball. And of course, we had lots of drama, lots of things to keep us talking every week. So, 2016, I think, will be a real memorable sports year.
Yeah, for you, Bill?
I'm just glad that Agent Orange hasn't blown us all up and we haven't all gone to African Valhalla.
Not yet.
That's my, not yet, but we made it through 2017. Social media continues to change the way we consume both sports and sports media. I think this year just kind of perpetuated that trend even more. There's a 24/7, 367-day news cycle per year. It's absolutely nuts. Everything is for consumption, and that trend continued. I thought that the NFL was trash. somewhat. I thought it continues to be trash, but in a trash year, my team is doing wonderfully well. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the jinx under wraps. I'm not gonna say anything. Billy Beige may have just thrown us off our Super Bowl run by even mentioning the Super Bowl run. So I'm just hopeful. I'm just happy to be here, man. The NBA.
You just acknowledged it was a run, though. So you're guilty now.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Well,
where, talk about Agent Orange, and it's like, this first year where we had like a league beefing with a president, like we literally
of
had
course
state beefing with football players, and people like on both sides of the aisle tuning out football because of people kneeling and because of people not kneeling, and I mean it was crazy. Like the line between sports and the society as a whole and pop culture and politics is all blurred now, man, and it's just amazing to see this.
All right, yeah, no doubt. So, throughout the show, well, these gentlemen, because I won't be here that long, these gentlemen will talk about some of their favorite sports topics of the year. But before, we get into all of that at the tail end of the show, we definitely got to bring you some hot topics. We got Gus Griffin waiting on the line, but before we talk to Gus about his NFL investment picks of the week, got to let you know, Hot Topics is brought to you by Sports the Book. If you're tired of reading the same old sports books with same old lists, rankings, imaginary starting lineups, and Jordan versus whoever else you want to put against Jordan at any particular moment in history, be sure to pick up your copy of Sports. Smart people only read the sports. The mixture of sports and hip-hop culture keep you on the edge of your seat and laughing like you're watching a comedy special. Just go to sportsthebook.com or get your copy from our website at warroomsports.com. But whatever you do, don't miss that movement. So we're going to go to the phone line right quick, the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline, where we have Gus Griffin, our NFL investment picker. I got the air quotes going right now. Gus, what's going on?
You didn't have to say that, did you?
Gus, you alive?
Not air quotes for you, just air quotes for investment. Gus thought I was throwing him under the bus. I got the air quotes, and our quote handicapper say, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Gus, I'm the only one that takes blatant shots. This is B. Austin. I'm the only one.
Gus is coming. He's coming off a 3-2 week last week, so he had a pretty good week. By my count, you're standing at 30, 39, and 2. So this week, last week of the season, it's time for a Hail Mary. So Gus has 9 picks to give you guys, and we're going to start off with the Panthers +4 at the Falcons. I understand. That's what you're taking.
I'm taking the Panthers. They still got something to play for a little bit. They're just a better team than the Falcons. I don't trust the Falcons. I think the Panthers will win outright. If not, maybe they lose by a field goal. Panthers.
Okay, and then we have the 49ers and Rams. Their over-under is 44.
Yes. This week is a strange week for one thing. I just want to add, certain teams playing for something, certain teams are not. So it's a really odd week if you don't really kind of just make sure you know who's playing for what and who isn't. It can be funny. I expect the Rams, who really can't change much, kind of pull back the reins a little bit. The 49ers are hot. They're scoring points. I mean, even before Garoppolo the last game, they scored nearly 80 points. So I can see it going over here.
I'm wondering if Garoppolo is fool's gold, but I guess we will find out come next season. Cowboys -3 at my Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and that's a good example of that kind of situation where the Eagles can't really gain much here. Surely they're gonna. The bigger picture is to keep an eye to keeping people healthy, and so I can see the Cowboys squeaking this one out.
Right. Well, the only thing they could gain is possibly some confidence, but they can't even chance that because the stakes are too high for them.
Yeah, let him question marks you about Foles. You don't want him to go down and go to your third guy.
Yeah, so.
We don't even know who our third guy
I
is.
don't even know who Nate Sudfeld is, so let's not go. All right, so we got the Titans -3.5 versus the Jags.
Yeah, and that's a good example. Titans need to win. Jags can't change their position. I think the Titans will win it and cover that 3.5.
Okay, and then we got the Lions -7 versus the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers. They trying to get the Packers to give up Aaron Rodgers because of the way they, did the IR situation. That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be so interesting to see.
I think the Packers have a good name, Pack, because they're packed up. I think they're ready to leave, and their receivers are hurt. And even when they're healthy, I mean, let's face it, there's a big drop off from Rodgers to Huntley, and so I see the Lions winning pretty easily.
A drop off is called a cliff. We got
exactly.
The over under for the Panthers Falcons is 46. Where are you going with that?
Going over. The game means something for both teams, so I see an all-out game here, 27-20 or higher.
Okay. All right, and then we have the Colts -4 versus the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts. Texans just aren't that good. I mean, it's not. Don't need to overthink this one. Colts aren't either, but they're at home. Maybe they can. It might be Frank Gore's last game, so I could see them winning this one.
All right, then you got the Cardinals +10 at Seattle.
They play up there well, very well. They want up there when no one want up there. Now this year is certainly not that same Seattle team, but they always play up there well. So I think they'll cover the 10. Not really. Kind of be surprised a little bit if they won, but I see them covering that 10.
All right, and last but not least, the 49ers -3 at the LA Rams.
Yeah, that's the same situation, I think. I just think the Rams are going to be a little conservative, so I can see the 49ers winning. Yes, Garoppolo, the sample isn't large, but, I mean, Jacksonville last week, for them to put up that kind of points on that defense, which is clearly legitimate, things look like they're going in the right direction for the 49ers. Plus, they have a stockload of picks for that trade for the position of Trubisky, who they weren't going to take anyway. I still can't figure that one out on Bears' part, but at any rate.
All right, Gus, I'm going to tell you something here. I'm rooting for you here. This is definitely a Hail Mary. You've never picked this many games in one setting. If you happen to go undefeated here, this would be the greatest comeback to 500 that we've ever seen in the handicapping business. So
I think you got the numbers wrong, man. I got 28, 37, and 2. Now I'm not doing well after you be taking games from me, man. Come on, man.
I thought you were 3-2 last. I don't know. All right. Well,
yeah,
what Gus just said is his record because he definitely keeps a better record of that than I do. So.
Hey, when you're losing, you can't afford to miss games, man. Don't take nothing from me, bro. Come on, man.
My bad. All right, so yeah, we're rooting for you. I mean, we're gonna talk to you next week during Wild Card Week. You get to wipe the slate clean. The playoff record is a totally different thing, but we're gonna see how you finish off the regular season. All right.
Okay,
we'll talk to you next week, Gus. All right.
All right. Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Man, we
appreciate
Happy
you. New Year.
Stay alive in 2018, man. Stay alive.
All right. Gus Griffin, everybody. We will talk to him next week to see if he can pull off this epic comeback. All right, so I think we got Jimmy in the building. You there? Slice or not?
No.
All right, he's not in the building yet. All right, so before I go, fellas, I definitely want to get your opinion on this, and then y'all can take it over and pilot this plane. Yeah, you can pilot this plane into the new year. But, a little quick conversation about our home team, our beloved Philadelphia Eagles. They wrapped up the home field advantage with a win over the Oakland Raiders, but they look kind of shaky in doing so. What is this team's prospects for the playoffs, man? Can they get this done? Or are we just, because people said that we were done as soon as Wentz went down.
I am.
A lot of people who really don't bang with Foles like that, they just totally overlook the Giants game, and they're taking their cues from the last time they saw him, which was against the Raiders when he did not look good at all. What can this team do going into the playoffs, man?
In Foles' defense, I would like to point to the fact that the entire team played like turducken sauce at the bottom of the pan 5 days after Turkey Day. So it's not like it was Foles alone. Let's start with the offensive line. I think that Raiders game was perhaps their worst or second worst game this season. The offensive line played terrible in that game. And a part of that is the fact that the Raiders, though a bad team, their defensive line and defensive front is not bad. And they do bring pressure, and Khalil Mack is the man, and they have decent to very good linebackers. So that was a test that our offensive line, if I had to give a grade, I'd give them a D for that game. And so you have a backup quarterback with an offensive line that isn't performing up to its talent level and the season level that we've become accustomed to. And then I saw receivers not really getting a lot of separation. I saw Foles, if we just want to relegate it to Foles and you want something to hate on, I saw him miss 5 throws. I saw him miss 5 throws that you can't miss in the NFL as a starting quarterback, and I do grade him harder than I grade most backups. And so that was unacceptable. You can't miss those 5 throws.
And you also had the situation be where he held onto the ball a little too long. Now, I do understand that the receivers weren't, totally helping him out, because if you look at some of those plays, it was the effort after their initial route. After that, dudes would just stop. Like, okay, you got to do something. The play is still going on.
They used to watching Carson Wentz do something amazing, and they weren't being entertained.
But so you had that situation. But, and I know fans won't like this, because if you see this over and over again, then you're going to get the booing, you're going to get the talking too. But some of these times you just can't take sacks. Some of these times, nobody's open, you got to throw it away. I said, fans will get annoyed with that as well at some point, but it's smarter than, laying on the ground, taking a loss in yardage for one, and two, just, leaving the chance out there that he might not get up, and we would be stuck with Nate Sudfeld, with home field advantage with Nate Sudfeld.
If you know Nick Foles, that's kind of been his MO, though. He has nowhere near the athleticism of Carson Wentz, but even when he was 27-2, when he was 27-2, Nick would hold the ball and think he could make something happen. Bless his little heart. And I'm like,
Nick Foles might be the slowest quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
The world. He's slower than Eli. He's slower than Tom Brady. Like, come on, man. You got to let the ball go.
You can continue that, but I want to ask Hank about, to continue. Let's take it over to the defensive side of the ball, because to me it seems like the defense was getting gashed more than normal, but it seemed like there was a switch that they hit when they realized the offense wasn't really going to help out at all today. Like, they got stout. They either got stout or they got lucky, because the game turned real wacky at the end with all the turnovers. So which did you think it was, Hank? Did they get stout or did they get lucky?
I think they realized that they were getting beat up, and it was on them to win the game. I think we all kind of fell for a little bit of fool's gold in that Giants game. Foles was able to kind of not really impose his will, but he looked good. He got 4 touchdowns. The offense looked like it wasn't really missing a beat, but our defense was really the surprising thing. I think that if we have a chance, it's going to be the defense. But, I mean, we're going to have to figure out something in the secondary. If Jalen Mills can't stick a simple double move, we might have to jump.
We are the double move suckers of the league. Jalen, not even just him. Like Darby goes for him. Safeties go for him.
They go for him like someone told them that they are related to Deion Sanders. Like, yeah, you can get that. You can get that, man. When he make that move, jump that route. Or jump that route. There's only so many routes he can run at the top of the. I'm like, yo.
They go for him like a double move is a new thing. Like they've never seen anybody do a double move before. Like that's what's scary for them. I mean, I think our defensive line is still as dominant as ever. I think that can possibly win us the game. But at the end of the day, you know, I was one of those people that counted us out as soon as Wentz went down because, you know, I don't know, Austin, if this last week was our, you know, worst performance of our offensive line. I just think all those terrible performances were covered up by the greatness of Carson Wentz. I mean, it was pretty much the same pressure that Carson.
That was a great point. That's a great point.
I mean, he was able to take that stuff. And Foles, we all know, like you said, that's not Foles' thing. He's going to either take a sack or make a bad decision. And, you know, we're going to need our defense to be able to, you know, hold teams to 10 points or less in order for us to be able to make this run in the playoffs. And I don't I mean, Carolina might be a problem. The Saints,
the conference is looking kind of tough right now, man.
I just don't know if we'll be able to hold. If we'll be able to go 3 straight games of holding a team to 10 points or less, because that's what we'd have to do to make this run.
Yeah, I saw that Rams team up close, and I think they're for real. Last thing for our role, and it's just a shame that you can, because, you know, once this happens, all the blame is going to go to Foles. And, I mean, it's really his skill set, not even his skill set, it's his physical attributes,
his limitations,
that changed the whole bearing of the game in comparison to Carson Wentz. Because in a situation that wouldn't really be his fault, like Hank said, like Carson Wentz may have been covering up for some bad pass blocking in the first place, but the fact that Foles can't do that is going to make the team look totally different, and he's going to take all the blame for something that these guys probably didn't do as well all year, but it was covered up by, you know, craziness from Carson Wentz.
Yo, I need us to figure out how to use Clements and Barner as safety valves for Nick to get rid of it quick. Nick, get rid of it quick.
I need them to stop waiting until 3rd and 26 to run screen plays. It could work on earlier downs. Yeah. It really could work because the team, you know, teams don't seem to expect that from us like they used to. And even, you know, you don't remember those Eagles teams from years ago. People would expect it from us, and we still pull a screen for 30 yards. But it's like now we don't use it until we're way backed up. It's just like a give-up play. And, you know, who knows? We might get lucky and break it and get it, and it really never works out that way. They need to run some of that earlier, you know, since we do have a Nick Foles in there to keep the defensive lines honest. We need to throw some of that in there early.
Yeah,
that's how we scored that first touchdown in the Oakland game. We scored on the screen pass to the side.
Right.
I mean, he can catch too. We need to really. I mean, besides the screen passes, we need to really utilize our running backs. We got 3.5 good running backs. We need to be pounding the rock, throwing short screens, you know, work Ertz as much as possible. But all that, you know, 5-step drop stuff, that can't work with Nick Foles.
That Ertz missed throw going back to Nick Foles was inexcusable, missing him high, and that underthrow.
And almost getting them killed.
That underthrow at Aguilar looked like I threw it. Like, you can't underthrow Aguilar on that jump, man. You can't. He went back to his original
because he's not going to make difficult catches for you. So you got to throw it to where it's going to stick to his hands. All right. I mean, y'all can keep going with this or not, but, you know, I got to bow out. So, B, you got it.
Of course.
You piloting this thing. I'm going to tell you, brothers, Happy New Year. Hank, thanks again for all
man.
you do for us from week to week, man. We appreciate it. All
Absolutely.
right, I'll talk to you fellas later.
Hey, man. Happy Kwanzaa, and love seeing y'all in the islands at St. Bart's from the family vacation home. Enjoy.
All right, y'all. Peace.
With that being said, can this team win in the playoffs, Billy Bass? Can we win? Can we win? Is the question.
We can win, but we're going to have to simplify things, and we're going to have to play tough defense and run the ball well. I think, the best thing for a weak offensive line is to get them being aggressive, going downhill. So we gotta establish the run, and then let Nick Foles work off that play.
We got the personnel for it too. We got the personnel, like you said. We got 3.5, and I wanted to ask you about that 3.5. So I know Ajay, I know Blunt. Who's the third and who's the half?
I'm gonna say Clement is the third, and Barner is the half. Barner's
a half a good back. All right. I'm with it. I was shocked that our DBs were biting. It's almost as if they believe that Derek Carr is a fraud and is just there to get the ball out quick, and they can get their hands on it. Darby, I'm very, very pleased with. I see him as a solid starter and a fringe Pro Bowler. Like, maybe not consistent Pro Bowl, but I can see him stringing together 2 or 3 seasons in a career if he stays healthy, where he's one of the best at the position as a starter with a solid safety man or safety team behind him. I think that we're good. Now, Jalen Mills is still the mystery, because the mere fact that he dyes his hair, I was a hater. But I saw some really good stuff last year, and I saw some really good things throughout the course of this year to make me believe that he could fight his way into being a starter. But he bites on those moves as if his athleticism is something that it's not. And I'm like, whoa there, young fella. Like, you're playing well. Let's not get caught up in the Terrell Buckleys, of the world. Let's not just make it all about jumping routes. That's not, what this game is in its entirety. Let's have some discipline. Let's have some eye discipline. Let's play the receiver as well as the ball. But all in all,
I think
I'm not
that's
worried
why
about the secondary.
Yeah, I think that's why Jalen Mills really needs to be a third corner, a slot coverage guy. Because if he makes that mistake in the middle of the field, we can recover from it. It's when he makes that mistake and they have the whole outside, the whole third of the field, that we just can't do anything with it. So, question for you, B. Austin.
Yeah.
The rumor is Sidney Jones is ready to go. Do you think we activate him and let him get some game reps in this week and possibly use him as a corner in the playoffs? Or do you think it's too late in the season?
Too late in the season, and I like Jalen Mills as a third or fourth. I love him as a third or fourth corner, but not as a slot. I don't think the slot man that we want and need is on our roster. Shout out to Brother Malcolm, who does an amazing job as a slot corner. But that as an actual position, Jalen Mills is a lot bigger than you might think, and I don't think that he is that gifted of an athlete to slide down inside, pause, and play on the slot man. And I think if you put him as a third corner and you have that guy as a starter, then you would have to have someone you could slide inside, which right now would probably be Malcolm Jenkins, and you put him outside and you keep him outside. Like, I don't see him as a nickel, maybe a dime, but if you put him at the dime, then he's not getting enough reps on the field. I'm okay with him as a starter. I think that the mistakes you and I have seen can be coached up, and you can get him to be a more disciplined player, and you're okay. Sid the Kid, I'm excited. No one is more excited than me to see what Sidney Jones is really about, but I don't think you do it in the playoffs. I don't think, because if there are mistakes made, it will cost us, and it could be damaging to his confidence as being the guy that gets picked on because no one has any film, and we get sent home because of him being the weak link. I don't want that to happen to him. I want him to go through a full season and see what he really has with a mini camp, with a camp, with a season under his belt. We're going to be good for a while, I believe, and he'll have time to develop into everything that I want to see him become. How do you feel about our linebackers? How are they holding up for you?
I think they're doing really well. I mean, definitely considering, we're missing Hicks. But I really think Hendricks and Bradham have both stepped up huge this year. I love our front seven, and I love our safety. Like you said, Malcolm Jenkins, aside from the fact that, he out here running Cash App schemes and, investing the NFL's money in the cryptocurrency. I think I think he's a great safety. It's just the corners that worry me, and maybe I got caught up in the colorful hair and the skinny jeans. Jalen Mills. To me, he always was a little dude to me, but I believe
he just wears tight clothes. At his salary bracket, he's able to afford larger, tight clothes that make him look littler. That's what it is. But I'm very excited about Darby, and I think Darby, Sidney Jones, and Jalen Mills give you a top 10 cornerback triumvirate for me. So I'm excited to see that.
And I like.
What about your man?
I think McLeod is a nice pick too. As a safety. So, once we get Sidney Jones going, our defensive line is locked in for the next 3-4 years. I think we're going to have a top defense, like you said, for the next few years. So I'm excited about it.
I'm excited. What's up with your man?
Which one?
What's up with your man? James Harrison joins the Patriots, and his Steelers teammates have a lot to say. Let me just give our listeners, our audience, some context. So James Harrison, it is being reported, was sleeping in the linebackers meetings and the defensive meetings. He had his own old head recliner chair that was in the meetings, and he would just lay it back. And he said, listen, you're not putting me in the game. I'm just running scout teams, so I'm going to disrespect Joey Porter, which I have a hard time understanding how that went down, knowing and understanding who Joey Porter is, because Joey Porter is not afraid of conflict in any way, shape, fashion, or form, and I doubt the fact that he's not playing anymore means that he's not that far removed from his testosterone shots and HGH.
Male or female, Joey don't mind.
Joey does not mind. He's OBH. He's with the dumb ish. But nevertheless, we didn't hear of any actual altercations. But James Harrison was falling asleep in meetings on the days where he was inactive. When they deactivated him for about 4 games, as soon as he found out he was deactivated, he would just leave. He would just go home. He was being disruptive. He refused to mentor and teach T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, and some of the other younger linebacking core. He refused to go visit Ryan Shazier in the hospital. He is asked on numerous occasions to be cut. He asked in week 3, he asked in week 5, he asked in week 11, and he asked in week 15. And so now that cut finally happened, and he signs with Bill Belichick, Tom Terrific, Robert Kraft, and the Patriots. And his teammates are mad. Marcus Pouncey said that he has erased his Steelers legacy. Bud Dupree is resentful that the media is painting it in any way, shape, form, or fashion as a fault of the Steelers defense or the Steelers team at large. What's going on with James Harrison and his ex-teammates and his new team? What's
you know, James Harrison always reminds me of Debo. And I think this is a Debo situation going on. I think, you know, these dudes now they talking because, you know, they got mind control over Debo. You know, when he there, they shut up, but when he leaves, you know, they be talking again. And none of these guys would have said any of this to James Harrison. You know, none of these stories came out until he was all the way in New England. You know what I'm saying? And they need to watch their mouth because they're going to probably see him again. And if I was Ben Roethlisberger, I would be pissed right now because the last thing you want.
You know what? You're not going to be pucking me when we get 40. I'm letting you know that right now.
So, I mean, and the thing about it, so we talk about Joey Porter. Joey Porter, to me, in this situation, he like Big Worm. You know what I mean? Like, they both gangsters, but he knows if he were to clash with Debo, he would have to kill him. And
That's
I think Joey Porter, you know, I think Joey Porter is thinking to himself, like, look, man, I have a career, you know, I don't need to be in this trouble, and he knows how he is. So, yeah, they were letting him just do whatever he wanted to do. He was riding around, stealing bikes. He's probably the one who stole Juju Schuster's bike. You know, all these sort of things, man. So I mean, Harrison, I wouldn't want to say these things, you know. Like, I just want him to know, in case he's listening, that I'm a huge fan, and I think they're I don't want no problems with Harrison.
I've seen James Harrison lift weights, and believe you me, lifting weights does not mean that you have that handwork. But I've also seen him play football, and I know that he's a very angry black man. So, you know, I say that with the caveat, I'm only scared of two living entities, and that's God and Mike Tyson. But I give James Harrison the respect of being another Titan, just as I am a Titan. So I don't want any problems with you. But I'm going to tell the truth. I think there's culpability on both sides. And here's what I mean by that. In the NFL, coaches and GMs and players have very candid conversations about where they fit in the scheme of things, where they fit in the plans of the team. And obviously coaches and GMs have lied and misrepresented, and players have too. In this case, Mike Tomlin lied to Debo. And that caused Debo to go further into his Debo bag and just be a complete unprofessional ass. But it all started with Tomlin's lie. So for the past 2 seasons, with his return to Pittsburgh from Cincinnati, James Harrison has had a particular role with a particular set of skills, which he enjoyed, and he was cool with that. And that role called for him to have 25 to 45 snaps per game, put his hand in the dirt, rush the passer, producing anywhere from 4 to 7 sacks, sometimes even 8. He might have had 8 in one of those years. Not a full-time starter, not getting all the defensive snaps, not staying on the field. But what he was good at, they put him in a position to show. What I believe happened is, along with requesting of him to be a mentor to T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree, they said, James, your role is going to be similar to what it's always been over the course of the last 2 seasons. Stick around, ride this out. We're going to do well. Let's make it happen. By week 3, he saw that was not the case. And here's what I've noticed. Even though the Steelers run a 3-4, they drop their outside linebackers. They do a lot with their linebackers. Obviously, they play through their linebackers. They drop some of those linebackers into coverage, play them again as run stoppers, standing 2 yards back, even kind of even with the inside backer, and they put their hand in the dirt and let him go hunt. So they do all three. At this stage in James Harrison's career, he can't cover me. Not that he ever could cover, but he can't cover you with a blanket right now. So his strong suit is going hunting and getting to the QB, which they still have a need for, and obviously based on the Kansas City game where he made several big plays, including a sack, he still can do that. But he's not T.J. Watt at this stage of his career. He's not Bud Dupree, and he can't cover anything. And so those are the guys that they want to invest snaps in, money, and time. They're not in a position where they want to cater to James Harrison, but they shouldn't have misled him to begin with. They should have just let him walk. Just let him walk. Now, where James Harrison is culpable is they didn't let him walk. After week 3, which is where this behavior began, it became evident that, hey, this guy, we're not using him. He's not happy here. He's becoming a disruptive force. And to the Steelers' credit, it didn't get out early on in the season and didn't become a distraction outside of the locker room. But they should have let dude walk. Like, you can't have a guy with his personality sucking up the oxygen on your defensive unit and in your linebackers room. And that's what it has become, because dude became unprofessional and disgruntled. Like, when you're on scout team and you're deactivated for a game, you still have to go to the game and be present with the team. They said when dude was made aware that he was deactivated, he would just leave. You just go home. Like, you can't do that. Like, that's not – you're getting a game check. Like, that's the thing. Like, you still get a game check at a veteran minimum. Like, that's not super-duper money, but you're getting a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 check for that game. So you have to be present. You're being paid. So this is ugly on both sides. Tomlin said it was reported at both at 2 meetings that Tomlin had with him. The first meeting mid-season, Tomlin said, no, we're going to change it. We need you. You're going to get snaps. That didn't happen. And then at the second meeting, even when they were releasing him, I believe Tomlin is quoted as saying, I still need you. You're not going to – but and then when they released him, they said, we're going to cut you. We need you to stay in shape and stay ready because we may re-sign you back.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful to a one-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. You don't do that, man. Just let him walk and let him go play. He wants to still play. There's still a check out there for him. Let him go play. What's your take, Billy Bass?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Both sides handles it wrong. But I think James Harrison is going to be James Harrison. So I put a little bit more of the onus on the Steelers organization. Like you said, you got to be forthcoming with him. You have to let him know we're going to give these young guys some more time. I feel like they did something similar last year, but towards the last few games of the season, they really started to ratchet up his time, and he was really producing for them in the playoffs and help them make that run to get into the playoffs. So, he can
still rush the passer. Like, he can still get home. I don't want him on the field full time, but I have no problem giving him 30 snaps a game, 40 snaps a game.
Exactly. Because he's going to not only get to the quarterback, but he's going to give you a good strip sack. He's going to cause problems for whoever's blocking him. He can still sometimes command a double team. He has a lot of value still. But I mean, the way he was handling himself, it was best for them to let him go. But if you weren't saying that stuff to his face, don't be coming up now saying all this stuff behind his back now that you think he's far away. Because I'm sure James Harrison still know the code to the facility over there. And he will pop up on Mike Pouncey one day.
The funny thing about that as well, do you think they would have had anything to say if he would have signed with the Raiders or the Jets or the Niners?
No, absolutely not.
So it's clearly the Patriots. That's what they're mad at.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're mad at.
But lucky for them, he was sleeping on the meeting, so he don't really know the scheme. So they should be good.
Yo, my man, they said he was loud snoring in the meeting.
Loud. He looked like he got sleep apnea.
I want to see a rumble between him and Big Worm, man.
Yeah.
See what that looks like with that hitting fork, man. Somebody gotta go see the maker. Sports days. Got a segue. Is Christmas Day the best sports day of the year?
Oh man, we were talking about this in the group chat. Shout out to the War Room group me. It's gotta be right up there. I mean, for me as a person that my two favorite sports are NFL and NBA.
Mm-hmm.
NFL for the last few years has been really good at making sure that we had some games on Christmas Day, and then the NBA lineup is just always amazing on Christmas Day. I mean, for me, I still got young kids, so I was sitting there putting together toys, trying to play with all the different things. But just, I mean, game after game after game of just games that I wanted to see, stars that I don't typically get to see all the time. It was just really good to be able to sit there and enjoy that. So yeah, I can't think of a better day. Super Bowl is, that whole day feels special to you. But it's really just one.
But it's really just one thing.
Yeah, the quantity of Christmas Day is what makes it so great. How about you, man? What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Christmas. I'm gonna go with Christmas Day because the activities on Christmas Day include the NFL, the NBA. I know no one, our listener base isn't necessarily real football fans, FUTBOL, but there's also some great football games on as well. So you've got three major sports that will entertain you. We are entertained, and so Thanksgiving is up there as well. I would give that a second. I would give that a close second, but I'm going to say Christmas Day is that day. Now, New Year's, of course, you have more college football than I want.
Yeah.
Our homie, friend of the show and contributor, Fred Perdue, is probably squeezing one out on New Year's Day because he's excited as a pig in poop. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Christmas Day for me.
Yeah, I think the only other day that probably rivals it to me is actually opening day in the NFL season. I mean, to me, that's almost like a man holiday. I've been saying for years that should probably be, what Father's Day is, because we kind of had Father's Day during the time where, we really, it's nothing special about that day. But I feel like if the first day of the football season was Father's Day, you got to really, get your little breakfast in bed and just have that day to yourself to still have hope in your team and, your fantasy team and your gambling and do all that and enjoy that first day of football, with the red zone and DirecTV and all that. That to me is another day that I really look forward to when it comes to sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just can't see anything. I can't see anything touching Christmas because of the intersection of the major sports. Like, and think about it, because when your name is Super Bowl Sunday, that is for one game. Your name an opening day, that is for one sport. So it's got to be Christmas or Thanksgiving, and I think Christmas has more activity. And as you can probably tell, while I like college football, I'm not a huge fan, so I don't even count all that New Year's Day activity. That's too much. Midnight Madness, nah, that's one sport. Never mind. So yeah, well, Christmas.
I think it's
Christmas Day.
Yeah. I think it's Christmas.
Christmas it is. Christmas it is. So
we know he look forward to.
So there's an interesting dialogue that's been going on. Speaking of Christmas Day and the NBA, and the game that occurred, is an interesting dialogue and narrative, and it's one of those things that comes around with every generation when a group of people get tired of the face of a particular league, and they nominate a young gun to supplant that face. And in this case, it's not necessarily a young gun, but a younger gun. Is KD finally better than Raymond?
No.
Is KD better than LeBron?
He's not.
Okay.
I mean, one, he's still soft. I'm getting tired of the fake tough KD. It's only going to be a matter of time before he pulls that little move with the wrong person, somebody that doesn't care, and he's going to smack him. Just like when Kobe was trying to go through his tough phase and he got that Chris Childs two-piece, and that settled down. You can only play tough for so long. I mean, so one, I don't respect that. I don't respect the way that he went to Golden State. And no, man, his game is not better than LeBron James' game.
Well, let's look at some stats. Historically speaking, KD has always been a better three-point shooter. He's a better mid-range shooter. He's a better free throw shooter. And now it's being called into question from a defensive standpoint. He looks like a rim protector at 6'11". So he has some 4-man, 5-man duties defensively. Certainly not on the ball, because I don't think he can move as quick laterally as LeBron could traditionally. I don't know about now, but could there be an argument? I mean, we know he's soft, Duke, and we know he's a bit of a coward. But outside of those things, just keeping it relegated to basketball, limited to basketball, and statistically, is there a case that can be made for KD's efficiency taking him past LeBron? What do we say about the shot?
So I think the team that he's on right now, it makes more sense for the team that he's on right now. If you're going to play this spread where you have all the different shooters, but at the end of the day, look who he's still going to war with. I know Curry's out, but he's still going to war with Clay and with Draymond. And, just for what LeBron is asked to do on the court, for every aspect of the game, I think that, yes, Grant is a much better shooter, but every other aspect of the game, LeBron still has him by a considerable margin. And I think that's the best player in the NBA. But the idea that, if I was starting a team from scratch, I still to this day would take LeBron over KD. Now, not Grant, but if I'm building a team this year and we're picking sides, my first would be LeBron James. Nothing that Kevin Durant has showed me this year has changed. He still fouled him. He fouled him at the end of the game. Let's not pretend like that didn't happen.
So now we're going to that particular play, and I think not only did he foul him, he fouled him three times, and the ref didn't blow the whistle. Just to continue playing devil's advocate, what do you the efficiency I see that LeBron has oftentimes comes from situational decisions, which an intelligent basketball player is supposed to be always aware of the situation and the personnel around him and how he can play that to his advantage. But there are certain shots that LeBron isn't going to take because LeBron doesn't have confidence in his ability to make those shots. And you don't have that limitation with a KD because there is really no shot anywhere on the court that he doesn't have confidence in being able to make in game situations. Doesn't that have some value in the discussion with KD being throwing his hat in the ring for best in the world.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I think that just goes down to the one thing that he is better at, which is shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Ron Fish is at an all-time high this year. You know that man, 6% from the field. Like,
well, yeah, when you 6'9" and 270 and you go into the cup, I mean, you're going to be efficient.
Well, there's been a lot of 6'9" dudes. There's been a lot of 7-foot dudes that just stand at the rim that aren't putting up the percentages that he is.
Well, no, I mean we can't pull the red herrings out now, brother. Billy, this dude is an all-time great, and KD is an all-time great. So we hold them to a different standard than, say, a Donlier Foyle or Eric Dampier, or a lot of other, even another all-time great in Karl Malone, because I think both of those dudes are better than him. So this conversation has to be the stats as they are presented for these guys and the eye test as it's presented for these guys. Because as much as I'm down on Kevin Durant, on LeBron James' shot, I still want LeBron James to take that shot over someone who is perhaps a specialist or more skilled, but he's LeBron. Like, I don't want him passing the Korver in the short corner to win the game. I want LeBron to take that. And that really, for me, if I boil this all down, my only knock against LeBron is twofold. The first is I think that he's still fearful of certain moments and he shies away from certain things. And the fact that he never developed that post game, that footwork that I think would have taken him over the top. Personally, I think that KD is the second best player in the league, but LeBron is it. And understanding basketball and what we're actually watching, I think that it's a marvel and a testament to LeBron's true abilities, powers, and what God gave him. For me, as a basketball purist, scientist, aficionado, whatever you want to call me, looking at and examining his game and seeing the holes that I see and still having to say, with those holes, nobody's better than this dude. Nobody's better. Like, nobody's better than this guy.
We have to also look at his age right now. I mean, LeBron James is my age, and he's having statistically his best season in, 10 years? I'm looking at the stats right now. He's averaging more points than he has since since the 2008 season.
Mm-hmm.
So he's averaging more assists more rebounds than he's ever averaged, and more assists than he's averaged. He's averaging 27.8, 8.2, and 9.3. I mean, if we're saying we're looking at the statistics, and LeBron has always been considered the best player, but he's taking another step up this year. I mean, his stats are even better. He's shooting 40% from the three-point line. We've always said that's been the weakest aspect of his game is his three-point shooting, but he's shooting 40% from three. I mean, LeBron just continues to get better, which is scary. I mean, I think at this point we look for somebody at his age to be ready to pass
to
the
fall
torch
off,
and
to kind of tail off.
and I think that
Michael didn't. Captain Kareem didn't. They gave us another 3 years from 33, both of them, at the top of the pile. So maybe LeBron is cut from that cloth, and he's going to continue to dominate over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, who knows? I take a lot of shots at LeBron, but objectively, I haven't been able to say he's not the best player in the world since probably 2010, 2011. Like, honestly, to me, and a lot of people.
I'm proud of you, B.R.
No, but I've always been pretty consistent. Like, I think he's been the best player in the world since the the 10-11 season. Like I don't. Now who he took that from was Kobe, and I think people who hate Kobe were quick to anoint LeBron that in 2005. But I think that at 10-11, probably, definitely 11-12. This is LeBron's league and has been since. And it's, those that don't like him, I acknowledge some of their points as being valid, but it's a testament to LeBron that even though he isn't clutch, even though he doesn't want to shoot free throws at the end of games, even though he doesn't have a post game, even though you can go down a list of things that he isn't and can't do, and he's still better than the person that you would hold up that can do those things. So, that's amazing to me. Like that in and of itself is
would
amazing.
you almost say that he's like the king of the league? Is that what you would say?
No, I wouldn't call him. I'm unable to call any human being a monarch at this point. I probably would have had my head chopped off living in Europe in the 14th, 15th, 16th century. They just put me on a guillotine because I just can't. Yeah, I'm anti Richard Rod. Not saying you are, brother. I just can't. I can't do it.
Got a bias. He's slandering us in the group, saying that we're not picking up his line. Man, you want to get him on?
Oh man, we are going to grab Tobias in one moment. Tobias, hold on, brother. We got you. We picking you up momentarily. What has sparked Victor Oladipo this season? What's going on with the African? Because he definitely ain't an African anymore. He is balling out of control. I know what it is. I don't think you know what it is, but I know what it is.
I know what it is, but hold on. Let me take you back. So this summer, right? So Victor Oladipo is from the Maryland area. So this summer, I happened to be at a meeting at a hotel, and there was a camp there. It was the Victor Oladipo skills camp. And I'm walking past. First, I walk past the side, and I actually laughed to myself because I'm like, who would come to a Victor Oladipo skills camp? Because this dude has no skills. Like he's totally overrated. I couldn't imagine paying any money to, have my child learn anything from Victor Oladipo. Then I actually walked by him, and I didn't even look twice at him because he was such a bum in my mind. Fast forward, and this dude is arguably probably should be the starting guard on the Eastern Conference All-Star team this year. And I think we can attribute it to Instagram, man. I think Instagram has really helped this man out.
Let me explain something to y'all young brothers listening. Let me explain. When you chase a Kardashian, it's a wrap. When you eat pork, it's a wrap. When you go to that sun-kissed, melanated place and you grab you a Bria Miles, even a Sierra, it elevates your game, B. It elevates your game. Salute to Victor Oladipo. I kind of thought you had it in you, but I definitely wouldn't have argued with Billy Beige in the summertime because I'm an undercover. Because I spent 18 years in the DMV, because I went to Howard, because I actually have been and shared the court with Victor Oladipo in his high school days, I'm a little biased. So I always wanted to see him do well, and I always knew that he had game. I didn't see this coming, but what I can attribute it to is Bria Miles.
Yeah, and I think for a brother like him, a brother, an African brother like him, he needs to have something that attached him to his roots, and I mean that is just some fine African dark soil. That's the money.
He went back to the motherland and got rejuvenated and invigorated. And, brother, put a ring on it, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
Put a ring on it.
I mean, he was lost for a minute. I mean, he was out there singing, trying to drop R&B.
She was
out.
lost. But we ain't going to talk about that. We ain't going to talk about
that. Yeah. Bria been around. But now she's in Indiana. So, I mean, something has happened, and the two of them have fused together. And this black power, black love relationship has just created an amazing basketball player right now. Like, Oladipo, Indiana, you don't get to see them often, but, dog, he is balling.
He's cooking. He's cooking, man.
He's balling like he tells him, if you don't drop at least 25, don't even bother coming home. Like, he is out there playing for the poor. Playing for him.
Yo, salute to that brother, man. You won on the court, and you the real champion. You the real MVP. Yeah. So stat of the week, and then we're gonna go to the phone lines. That stat of the week, and we are way behind. Rondo dishes 25 assists versus the Nets. 25.
Yeah.
We in Scott Skiles range. We in 30 assists in a game range. I've always looked at Rondo as a guy with a particular set of skills in the right situation, surrounded by the right teammates. He's not old. He hasn't, to me, fallen off. He just wasn't in an optimal situation to maximize and optimize the talent and skills that he has, and he is now. Now you're seeing double digit. 25 assists, beloved?
Yeah.
25 assists?
The thing about Rondo is I think he could almost do that every game. And he has that personality where he doesn't necessarily want to score. So, he can get those assists up. I've always enjoyed Rajon Rondo's game. He's one of those guys that I think he gets in his own way sometimes when he's dealing with the other players. He's a difficult teammate, but it's crazy that he could be such a jerk off the court and even on the court so much, but he's really the best teammate that you ever want to play with because he's going to put you in scoring positions all day long.
Yeah.
But he's just going to cause you a headache, off the court.
I've always loved Dude's game, and I've always felt like if Rondo could shoot 44% from the field and 72% from the line, he's a Hall of Fame talent. But alas, he hasn't. But salute to you for a legendary game and legendary setup man production. Good to see you prospering and thriving in the situation that you're in, Rayon. I can't say Rajon. It's Rayon. You got to take the J out of that. Rayon Rondo, good to see you prospering, brother. Check out our website at warroomsports.com. While you are there, take the time out to look around. Click on the Contact Us tab to send us a message about our company, about our show, or to inquire about sponsorship and advertising opportunities, or also to join the network if you feel you've got some content that is worthy. For general inquiries, email us at info@warroomsports.com. While you're browsing the site, click on the memorabilia tab to buy hot War Room Sports lit merchandise. I got to use all the young boys slang. Click the blog tab to read the latest articles in the All's Fair in Sports and War blog. Then click the respective icons and tabs to follow us on social media platforms and to subscribe to our iTunes podcast. To watch our webcast at War Room Sports TV and to download our free War Room Sports mobile app for your Android or iOS device. You can do everything that I mentioned from the website, warroomsports.com. Right now, join the JW Philly Realty chat room during our show at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. To enter the chat room, just sign up for a free profile on Blog Talk Radio. If you don't want to, then create an account, then just sign in through your Facebook or your Twitter accounts. And while you're at it, click follow to get updates and reminders about the show. We'll be taking questions and reading posts from Facebook, Twitter,
in the chat room during the show. We'll be taking and from the War Room Sports Game Time group app on GroupMe. So you got to get the GroupMe app and join the War Room Sports Game Time group. That's what you want to do. That's the business. To call in and speak with us, dial the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline at 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted, and while you're listening, or if you're already on your phone and listening, just press 1 if you want to talk. We're gonna get right to our bro dialing in, Brother Tobias. Are you still on the line? Is Tobias still out there? Oh man, I don't even see.
Hey, B. Austin.
Yes, sir.
I'm a little salty, man. You know, I'm just getting to the studio and whatnot, man. I just want to know did we talk about Bria Miles yet or no?
No, you just missed her.
Yeah,
she was just
we
here.
just talked about that chocolate.
Yo, we just talked. Yo, I'm working to get her on an episode, man, just so we can worship at the altars of African corporeality and femininity, and salute to Victor.
Corporeality?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but that sounds fly.
Yo, give Bria a few bars, brother. Give Bria a few bars.
Yo, I gotta use that somehow. I gotta figure out a way to use corporeality.
Corporeality means the body. That's what it means. Corporeality.
Educated brother right there.
From the bank.
Yo, that's the educated brother from the bank. Hank, tell me you knew what that meant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course, man. I knew.
All right, well, F both y'all then. Yeah, I mean, that's both y'all there. Anyway,
well, hold on, Jimmy. Did you check on Bria's Christmas the same way you checked on Bernadette? I said Bernadette.
That was just cultural research, man. I got to make sure they was having a good Christmas day, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is.
Listen, hold up. We got to touch on this, and I need you brothers' opinion, and to our listeners, man, hit us up. Let us know. Bria Miles, Bernice Burgos, and Juju. Rank them.
I mean, it's clearly that. Like, listen, Bria and Bernice are one and two. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even close to me.
Yo,
not that Juju.
Man, let me tell you, your man pooped on Juju because his homie dumped her. That's what.
No. Oh no, hell no. No, it ain't that. Got nothing to do with boy. That's his loss. But dog, you talk about first of all the one who I think is the GOAT of the whole culture of fat culture. She's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And Bria's right there. I mean, Bria's already shown you that she can get with an athlete. My man is averaging 10 more points per game this year. He's a legit all-star now.
Yo, I hate to make this a racial topic, but I'm like, when you chase the others, you lose your abilities and powers. When you get with a Bria or even a Sierra, your game elevates. I gotta draw the conclusion that
your sample size is trash, but I get it. Like when you get with the real corporeality, when you get with that Afrocentric corporeality.
Do we put a Malaya in this conversation, or is it? I mean, she has a whole nother game too, so we don't really consider her part of the conversation.
Mariah considers herself a part of the conversation, and Nick Cannon was not on the same trajectory.
No, not Mariah. Malaya.
Oh,
he's still on thought culture. You talking about divas? He in thought culture, not diva culture. But here's the thing, though. What we gonna do is we gonna get our brothers from Tissue and Tape. We gonna do like a field of 64 for IG models and see who really wins though. But my money is on the guard though. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. But I just had to bring it up. But B. Austin, with that being said, man, let me take over from here and tell the people what happened while they were on the grind last week, and that's brought to you by DirecTV. Because if you'd like a better TV experience than cable has to offer, you know what I'm saying, you can go underground and hit me up. Or you can go to DirecTV.com and you can get yourself a better TV experience. Because if you call yourself a sports fan, you got to have DirecTV. Listen, man, there's been a lot going on while everybody's on the grind this week. Shout out to everybody who still was on the grind, even though it's the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't take off. Shout out to all the Myers out there. But, oh, man, what do you guys think about this story? Eli Apple, his teammates, they called him a cancer to the squad. Like, is this productive at all? Like, or, you know, are they trying to get him out of there? Or, like, when you come out and call your teammate a straight cancer, like, can you guys even continue? Like, what happens at that point?
No, you can't. You gotta ship him out, and it's been long. It's been long since this little thing we're seeing with Landon Collins. He's got to get the F out of there. Like, I'm talking mid-season, and some of the things and the reports that come out of that locker room are downright crazy. Now, we owe it to the War Room Sports Game Time group to actually kind of report on their opinion and their thoughts. And there was an interesting meme on Landon Collins. I'm doing that research right now, and one of the things that was said that in no sports, this came from Michael Blackson. In no sports should anyone talk bad about a teammate in public.
Yeah, my man quoted Michael Blackson. Let's just make that clear before.
Collins having 4 kids by 5 women, his check is very light. This motherfucker called my 22-year-old nephew a cancer on the team. You guys won 2 games. I guess you must be diabetes. Landon Collins, 4-year contract, $6 million after child support and weekly Plan B pills. He's left with $765.56 a week. I'll be mad too. I'll be mad. So basically, he's saying pot calling kettle black, but I don't know what Landon Collins' nocturnal activities and populating the earth has to do with his being a good or bad teammate. I know that the extensions, the blue extensions he puts in his hair are atrocious and offensive. But I still don't know that even has anything to do with him being a teammate and positive influence in the locker room. What I do know is that Eli Apple and his Ghanaian, shout out to Ghana, the Black Stars, his Ghanaian mother are a problem on social media and have no issue expressing their opinions and thoughts to anyone that will listen. She is very intelligent and articulate, but she will preach about God. She will call every woman that wants to date her son a gold digger. She goes in. Annie Apple is her name. Look her up on Twitter. She goes in. Eli has an issue with losing, has an issue with playing, with his playing time. And I think because of his athletic talent, he is the best athlete. And that's saying something with Janoris Jenkins there. Eli Apple is the best athlete in the defensive backfield. And I think that he feels that athleticism should translate into playing time and maybe playing his own way. And as a rookie, that ain't going to fly in the NFL. And so, you know, he's been deactivated for at least 3 of the Giants games, and now he's suspended for his last game. I think he also had a suspension in the middle of the season. It's just been all bad. So my thing is I'm worried about where he ends up because it's not going to be with the Giants. But has he cost himself opportunity in the NFL? Not that he won't get signed when he's cut or anything like that. I definitely believe he'll get signed, but he has to cost himself some money. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of his mother and his activities on social media. I didn't know about all that.
Goes in, brother. Look Annie Apple up. That's his mom. He originally was born in New Jersey, but was raised by his mother in Accra, Ghana, till he was like 10 or 12. Then she came back over here. Very educated woman. She talks ish, but not in the same way as we would expect from most people on social media. But she will shoot at you, slander you, and let you have it. And he's kind of cut from that cloth. So I don't see him having a huge filter either. And I always wonder about how he was raised, factoring into how he treats his teammates and coaches, having come from success to a 2-14 team.
Got you. Hank, what do you think about it? Because I wasn't too familiar with his mom and all that. I don't know whether you I know you got crazy social media activities, so y'all might run in the same circles.
Yeah. So I actually heard that his mom, and I'm trying to find where I saw this at, but his mom kind of got busted cheating recently too. She got out there. She got caught out there doing a little, little extramarital activity.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really the one behind a lot of these problems. They said that she's pulling a lot of the strings. Eli's for his brother, his mom's all in the middle of it. So all these things, I think he really is a cancer to this team. He's brought a lot of issues to the Giants locker room. I'm not really sure, why Landon Collins would come out and say these things. It was weird to me that Michael Blackson would jump out there like that. But
Landon Collins tried to big him up. Landon Collins tried to actually extend an olive branch about 2 weeks ago. And when whatever it was that Landon said in the media, I don't have the direct quote, it was positive. He was saying that how great an athlete Eli was, and he just had to kind of put it all together and be fine. And when Eli Apple heard the quote, his response was, Landon Collins said after the positive that they had a conversation, they spoke. So when the media went to Eli Apple said, no, we never talked. We don't talk. And so Landon's response was, dang, you calling me a liar in public, dog? That's not cool. And then from there, it's been on.
Interesting.
And I definitely believe his mom is all up in the mix because she's been all up in the mix since the time he got drafted. Kind of you know what it is? A mini LeVar Ball with no agenda or baller brand. Just the noise. Just the noise. That's how his mom is.
Interesting. Yeah. So, man, that's a soap. Something has to happen. That's a soap opera. They can't allow it to keep going on. Speaking of soap operas, there's rumors that Floyd and Money May, so some of you guys out there, has been training MMA and has been doing so for a while. And his ultimate goal is to get a big bag in an MMA ring to show his face in there and actually take a bout and try to get a big bag. Floyd's all about that bread. Do you think there's any truth to this, or you think it's just his way of like staying in shape and being an athlete, or is he really trying to get a bag out of this?
I think that he is trying to get in shape. Definitely, keep in shape because once that's your lifestyle and that's who you are. That's your lifestyle and that's who you are. And because of his positioning in society and in combat sports, of course there's validity to this. And of course he has plausible deniability because he's just going to be able to say if it's not going in the direction that he wants, meaning either his training isn't what he needs it to be or the bag isn't what he wants. He can just say, I'm just staying in shape. What y'all talking about? But of course, and today on Undisputed, Dana White just reported that he was going to meet with Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerbe today. So there's validity to it, definitely.
But is this all smoke and mirrors though? Go ahead.
I think not only when you talk about his presence in combat sports, but you got to think about his lifestyle. His lifestyle costs a lot, man. So he's always going to be tempted by that next bag. He's never going to be able to completely walk away from this. But if he steps inside that octagon, he's making a huge mistake, man. It's different. It's completely different. I like to think I've always been pretty nice with the hands, but I know one thing I never will do is fight somebody with cauliflower ears because they will choke you out and make you look ridiculous, man. Like if Floyd thinks it could be the most amateur mid-level, bum UFC fighter, but Floyd would get choked out so quick by one of those dudes in the octagon.
And it's funny because any boxer that has made the transition, and shout out to James Toney, who's a world-class boxer, and he was cool. He was cool standing up. Once they tackled him to the ground, my man was like a fish out of water and got his ass choked out. But because it's exactly what you said. Like, I don't think people understand that it's a combat sport, but it's a completely different sport. Boxing is just one aspect of it. Just like most MMA fighters can't even come to boxing and give a competitive fight. You know what I mean? Like, so that's no shade. It's just that it's a different sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just found it interesting that
I hate
that
Floyd.
it's moving as fast as it is.
I hate Floyd for the disrespect of the sport, the disrespect of the fans, and the continued use of social media to do money grabs without putting anything behind it to support his fan base. This is clown. This fucker is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
we'll
So
see.
yeah, I think he will get destroyed in a matter of, I would say, less than a minute. He will get destroyed because
is the fix in though? Like, are they going to set him up to do that? Because we also know how much he cares about his legacy and what people think about it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that makes me think that he won't go through with it. But if he could figure out a way to finesse, appearances and announcing some of these UFC fights, and figure out a way to be involved in the UFC world without actually having to put his
and this is true too, because remember he has the money team promotion, so maybe he's trying to get involved in that aspect of it just to bring money. Because the thing about it is Dana White runs the UFC with like an iron fist, so it's not like boxing where you have a gazillion promoters. You have one promoter, and it's like get down and lay down.
Dana White said he's trying to.
That's also why you get the fight.
Dana said he's trying to segue into boxing too. He did mention that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I just thought it was an interesting story because it is Floyd. You know what I mean? And that's always news because he likes to make news, which is why some people think this is just that. This is just Floyd out here just trying to, promote Floyd and sell a couple T-shirts and hats. But Hank, you all right? His lifestyle seems to be extravagant. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? Who knows how much is smoke and mirrors? But listen to this one though. One of B. Austin's favorite all-time players, the gangbanger with speed, Deshaun Jackson. He was in a car accident, but not just that. In his car, they found weed and bullets. What's up with your boy, man?
Oh, Deshaun think he's a rapper. That's the classic rapper cocktail right there. Anytime they get pulled over, you're gonna find pistol and some weed in the car. Things didn't work out in Tampa Bay the way that we were expecting them to work out, and I think now Deshaun is regressing back to what he was, man. It's amazing to me that he. What'd you say?
I said he never was ish, but a guy that runs real fast.
Exactly. And I mean, he's always, been gang affiliated. He's always been, had a little bit of the street associated with him. So it's no surprise to me. What surprised me is that he was able to get away from, the car. And I don't know.
He's fast. He runs real fast.
He
jackpot. Jackpot record.
He probably did use that 4.2 speed to run away from the accident.
What's the boy's name from the Falcons that pretty much ended his career?
That's my guy too.
Because when the boy hit him that one time, he didn't go across the middle ever since then, and that was years ago.
Trufant.
Marcus Trufant, was that who it was?
It was
somebody changed his life. Like they changed his life. His life took a different course after that game.
Deshaun just being Deshaun. Deshaun. We all knew he liked to smoke. We all know he liked to carry them guns. So it's no surprise to me. I'm just surprised Jameis wasn't somehow involved because he loved to get arrested and be involved in some stuff.
Wasn't no crab legs there. Yo, but salute to him though, because crab legs do be lit.
All they
found
was bullets. Jameis probably ate the gun like he ate his fingers that day.
All right, yo, you out of pocket, B. You were definitely out of pocket, man. yo, I just turned into Jameis slander, man. How'd that happen, man? Yo, man.
They really had me hyped up off of Hard Knocks this year, and with these acquisitions, I really thought they was going to be something this year. And now it's 3 teams from the NFC South making the playoffs this year, and it ain't one of, and they're not one of them. That's ridiculous.
So what do you? But how do you think that's going to play out though, with those three teams?
What do you mean?
I mean, with those three, out of those. No, I'm saying out of those three teams, who has the best shot?
Oh, I think Carolina. I think Carolina's turning the corner. I think Cam is playing for Massa. He's really upset that they're taking the team away from his master. So I think he's going to try to send them out, with a good gift.
Yeah. I'm scared. I'm scared of the Panthers. I am. I know dude is hot and cold, and if I had to bet on Cam alone, he's a coon and clown, but he is not a coon and clown without talent. And when Massa empowers him,
I'm not laughing at Hank. Hank said he want to win for Massa on Massa's way out. He want to win one for the Gipper, yo. You got to
win one for the Gipper.
Yeah, you out of pocket, Hank. Yo, Ralph from Cali wasn't on, but I must have said something disrespectful because he banged. But we got another call on line before we get to these birthday shout-outs. Let's get the homie Naj on, man. Naj always brings fire, so let's see what Naj got to talk about. Naj in the war room. What's up, good brother?
What's the matter, boss? We selling the team? We selling the team, boss? Can I go with you, boss? Can I go with you? Don't make me stay here, boss. Man, love Cam as a player, don't respect him as a man. So, I mean, it is what it is. But y'all right.
Respect him as a human.
NFC South teams, that's the one that
looks
like it might do something. Go ahead.
I blame his old heads, man, because Cam is a young boy, right? But I blame his old heads, man, because he obviously, I think he's going to look back as he gets older and he, spends more time on this earth, and he's going to be like, yo, what was I talking about? 8 inches of skin and after this, like, so I blame his pop, yo. That's his pop fault.
Yeah, but see, you believe in him ever getting right. I'm looking at those hieroglyphics Instagram posts, and I'm saying, man, that dude ain't never turned on him. That's the road.
You may be right. My man said here he quoting Gloria Carter coming out of the closet. I still don't understand what he was doing with that one, but that's neither here nor there.
All you gotta do is look at his clothing and you understand. Come on, man.
But anyway, man, but what was you getting ready to say, Naj, though, about the playoffs?
Yeah. With Carolina, the biggest thing for them was getting rid of Kelvin Benjamin, the slowest route runner with no agility we've ever seen in NFL history. And that kind of allowed Cam to just find the open man and just make plays. So they got a unique offense that would only work for Cam, but it works. And if they get to clicking, they're a problem because the defense is good too. Nobody believes in Matt Ryan, so I ain't anybody talking about the Falcons. Drew Brees and the Saints, their running game is powerful, but I don't know. I got a hard time believing in them boys too. So I'm looking at Carolina out of those teams. That Deshaun Jackson stuff y'all brought up was real, man. That's, it goes back to Pac, man. How do I survive in the city? You know what I mean? We're 165. Like, he's a little dude, so I can understand him wanting to be strapped. Like, I can understand that. He saw Jameis do the W thing that he probably fully recognized, like, okay, this ain't going nowhere. Dirk Cutter got to go. You got to bring a new coach in there, a new scheme, to see if you can, justify Jameis as a franchise guy, which I think you can. But I just don't think Dirk Cutter's the guy, man. His raggedy scheme got ran out of Atlanta years ago. He did the backdoor move on Lovey to get the job. So, he kind of deserves it. Revenge is a dish that's served cold. So hopefully he gets it on Black Monday. No love for that dude. But, go ahead. I'm trying to think of what else y'all was hitting on. Oh, Floyd.
Bria Miles.
Floyd. Look. Man, look, fine ass Bria Miles, man. Serious. She came to the radio station I was at one time. Partner of mine slipped her hand down on the fatty on the pick. She didn't react. That man was cheesing for a good week or so because she didn't react. Now, in this new climate, it's never working radio again. But moving on, the boy Floyd, him and Dana. I mean, this sounds like a publicist's dream to try to, rankle up some press for them. But this is not realistic. Floyd's not getting in no MMA ring. The last thing he wants to give up is his legacy. and he don't want internet clips of him getting choked out or tapping out, because he's in an arm bar or something like that. A boxer who can make that transition at least has to be a heavy-handed KO guy. A technical defensive boxer trying to make that transition, I mean, you can't even keep folks off you with your power. So, I mean, yeah, Floyd really, I think that's a non-story. I think it's more likely, like you were talking about, maybe he gets into the MMA business as far as merch or some kind of promotional thing or bring a fighter or two. But as far as him getting in the octagon, yeah, man, I ain't believing that at all. There's no wins for him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because that all he needs is something bad to go wrong, and he's a meme forever.
Forever. And you gotta have heavy hands if you're gonna make that choice, man. And if you ain't got heavy hands, they just walking you down from moment the bell rings. They on you.
I don't even think it's about hands when it comes to the MMA, because only 15-20% of it is striking. It's like, if no one is going to stand toe to toe with Floyd. Everybody's going to try to take him to the ground.
But I think what Naj is saying, that you have a puncher's chance if you have that one hit knockout. It's sort of like
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have the one hit, you got that one hit quitter, then you got like a puncher's chance. But when you don't punch that hard, cats will just sit there and take that on the chin while they bring you down.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that fight will be over real quick.
Well, hopefully he nuts up and agrees to do it so that we can get him the F out of here. It's all this greatest ever talk.
Yeah, but dude, what we know about boxing history, do you think that in 5 years things ain't going so well? Get desperate enough? It's kind of similar to Joe Louis being the doorman in Las Vegas. Like, boxing has a history of guys who you say there's no way he could squander that money. And here we go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only possibility I can see. A washed, embarrassed Floyd getting in there because he has to make that payday. Yeah. Man, I hope it don't go down like that. But
yeah, you're right. Because people
Bugatti's talking a lot of money.
How much did Mike run through? Mike ran through like $250 million, something crazy.
Yeah, 300. Mike ran through 300.
Well, Trump helped.
Yeah.
Don King helped him run through that too. So
I think
Mike was buying lions and tigers and bears.
But you're getting robbed left and right because you don't know the game and they know the game. So hell, you go back to some of those Don King ones, boy. He was signing up his son.
We can blame Don King.
Buying tigers don't help either, though.
We can blame Don King, but my man bought lions and tigers and bears. Mike went to the zoo and said, "I want that," and they said no, and he said, "I like it."
Yo, there was a story like in Bobby Brown's book where he was hanging with Mike, and like Mike had like ran out of gas somewhere in like a Ferrari. And this is like, it just left it there. Like, I'm done with it. Like, I don't even want to drive this no more because it ran out of gas on me. So we just gonna leave this here. Like, I don't even care about it.
Yo, and then he walked over and bought another car.
Yeah, so Mike was drawing too, though. But to your point, man, like
I'm not taking any responsibility away from the athlete, but we also, they weren't getting their pockets ran, because I mean that's a factor too.
Oh,
let's say you made a bunch of stupid purchases, but you should still have $50 million left. Like that $50 million matters at that point. You remember Clint Portis?
We live in a world. We live in a world.
6 feet under about it, man. Like.
No one, what's funny? We live in a world where everyone's like, chatty patty and obsessed with how much money everybody has. Forbes does all these studies. No one has ever been able to pinpoint Don King's net worth. Like, no one's ever even. I've never seen it reported anywhere. Can't find it. Like, he must got some mean accounts, so he probably keep all his in like a bag somewhere, so you really can't tell. But
no one knows.
Man is pretty
he keep all his. Don King keep all his.
I feel like the moment you put in the freedom of information request and start looking into Don's work, you start getting all kind of threatening letters from lawyers. Like, I feel like Don King goes to work on you immediately.
Yeah, and it's crazy though, because Don King is like, he's like the equivalent of.
He set up a joint checking account with you. So Don King, all that money.
Hey, yo, hey,
Don King got an AM card.
Hey, yo, Hank, Don King is the equivalent of like Baby in the music business. Like, he's reportedly robbed everybody, yet people still do business with him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
anyway,
in America, man, he snatches the market share to make it where you can't fight. Now that's changed recently, but for years, I mean, he had a monopoly to where, okay, you don't want to work with me, you won't get any important fights. But the Larry Holmes one is the most beautifully ugly one, where he's talking about, man, you want me to sign this? I mean, it's blank. Oh, we'll fill the rest in later. Like that.
Yo, how do you fall for that?
We'll fill the rest in later. My God.
Yo, I remember reading in the book that he even rest in peace to the god Muhammad Ali, but he got him with the John where instead of bringing him a check, he brought him cash, and when Ali, like anybody else, saw that cash, not realizing the cash was a lot less than a check he would have got, but when you from the street, you take cash. Anyway, with all that being said, man,
dude, can I tell a quick story before we get out of here? Then just
yeah.
Before I get out of here, I mean, just because you just brought this story to my mind, the great Salvador Dali, the artist, he had something called a magic checkbook. Y'all have to look into the story, but it's an infamous one from him. He would go all over Europe, eating good in restaurants, smoking good cigars, cognac, everything, balling out. Him and other artists, and then they come over with the bill. He grab it, bill over, write a check, turn the check over, and draw a little picture on the back. So then the owners, an original from the master. We're going to put this up on the wall. They put it up on the wall. Never cashed the check. Beautiful. So for years, Salvador Dali was balling all over Europe by writing on the back of checks because he knew people wouldn't cash them because they were original.
Yo, that is fire. I never heard that story, but I'm definitely going to...
People tried to cash them checks. He went broke because he couldn't cover them damn checks. But
yo, that's fire. Yo, I'm actually going to look that up. I never heard that story, but that's an amazing story.
Yeah, that's a great
One of the great
That's an amazing story.
But either way, man, y'all doing a good job as usual, man. I'm going to hang and listen.
All right. Thanks, Nas. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it, homie.
Thanks, bro.
Indeed.
All right, take it easy. Happy holidays. Yeah, man. So before we move on, let me give a couple birthday shout-outs because, we got to salute cats on their birthday. And this is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Listen, if you have a Wix site, you really are playing yourself. Unless you're a lady of the evening and that's all you can afford, then we understand. But if that's not your profession, you got to hit up Digital Extreme Technologies. You can hit them at digitalextremetech.com or call them at 267-205-4203 and tell them that War Room Sports sent you. And if you are a lady of the evening, they have a special discount for those as well. So just make sure you tell them War Room Sports sent you, and that's what your business is. Anyway, it's time to give some birthday shout-outs. James Blake turns 38. I really have nothing to say about James Blake. Salute to him. One of B. Austin's favorite players, Bobby Taylor, turns 44. Is there anything to say about Bobby Taylor, B. Austin?
Yo, man, salute to Bobby. Better times on the corner.
You already know.
Bobby ain't never made a tackle in his career.
They don't pay him to tackle. They didn't pay him to tackle.
Never.
Shout to Dion. Yo, the legend, Adam Vinatieri turns 45. Now, does Adam Vinatieri get into the Hall of Fame, or we just ain't putting kickers in at all?
You know my policy.
Nah,
he's
a Hall of Fame kicker. He absolutely is getting there. He's probably first or second ballot.
If anyone should be in, it should be him. I just don't think kickers are human beings, so I ain't really, you know what I mean?
Respect. Listen, this is a War Room legend right here, William Gates. And for those who don't know, this is one of the stars of the before its time Hoop Dreams. Salute to William Gates from Hoop Dreams.
What'd you say, Jimmy? Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Of course. Him and Arthur
Yo, Hoop Dreams movie was ahead of its time, man, but, it is what it is, man.
How old is he now?
Salute.
How old is he now?
He's 46 years old. That shows you how old you are.
Yo, you old as
this one?
Hank.
One of the fastest guys to play, James Jett, turns 47.
Fast trash. Had worse hands than Jimmy.
Yeah, my hands is nice. I'm just slow as hell.
That means James Jett. You were better than James Jett.
But I could catch though. You know what I'm saying? I'm only gonna get you 2 yards, but I'm gonna catch it though. Anyway, James Jett run by me and drop it. Anyway,
shout out to Ted Ginn's uncle.
Yo, remember back in the day, the Raiders used to just like basically go to the track and be like, yo, we drafting ball. Like it didn't matter whether you could play, catch, or nothing.
Yo, your man Weekend at Bernie's did not care about football film. He would just say, all right, roll me out to the track and let's take the fastest black people that we see on this track.
Yo, that's because Al Davis's background as a coach, right? And sometimes these coaches, they think that they're so great. Like, yo, just give me somebody with the physical ability and I'll teach them everything else. And some coaches really believe that.
Yo, like, my man signed Bullet Bob Hayes. Bullet Bob Hayes is a track star, yo.
Really golf?
He even played football in college.
Yo. Anyway, Everson Walls turns 58.
The truth.
Salute to Everson Walls.
Underrated.
All right, here you go. Rest in peace, shout out to one Steve Van Buren.
Yes.
That's you guys, guy. But anyway, so with that being said, we like to give a special salute to these people on their birthday or their birthday week. You already know. To call and speak with us directly, here's what you do. You call the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. And just press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening, just press 1. You got about 15 minutes left, so call in as soon as you can if you do want to get on before the show is out. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about any of our favorite topics from this year, because next time you hear us, it'll be 2018. So it's going to get you guys' thoughts about this year in general. What was your biggest story? But I have to let everybody know that's brought to you by Audible. If your schedule's too hectic to read as much as you want, or if you're like Floyd Money Man, you just need help, you can go to Audible. Just go to audibletrial.com and get yourself a free audio book. I'm listening to several audiobooks right now. Hank, what you got in rotation in your audiobook game?
Man, actually, I'm not listening to one currently.
What's the last thing you finished?
The last one I finished was actually the Mike Tyson. I hadn't listened to the Mike Tyson audiobook yet. So
that's the GOAT. That is the GOAT audiobook. Salute to Mike. But yeah, so and you can get that for free, guys. audibletrial.com and get that Mike Tyson book. And Hank, I know you enjoyed it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, B. Austin, it's been a crazy year in the world of sports.
Yes, it
what
has.
What story sticks out to you the most outside of Bria dating Victor Oladipo?
Yo, man, I can't express enough appreciation to that young couple, man. I wish them 40 years of great marriage. But Bria, if you're gonna cheat, I believe that the greatest story is.
I mean, to me, there's one story that stands out above pretty much everything.
Trump,
but I'll see what you say though.
Trump going to war with everybody in the NFL, like Trump making it about Trump, and this whole thing as it spawns from Colin Kaepernick. So that's the biggest story for me.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going with it. The whole Kaepernick.
Yeah. Kaepernick.
Like that has to be like the biggest story of the year because it's kind of, permeated its way into pretty much all sports. Like everyone has to give their opinion. To me, the most interesting thing about what he's done is he's forcing people to take sides. And it's interesting to me within the world of sports, but also just in business where you see companies pretty much have to get political. And when most companies don't want to be political, they just want to be capitalist, so they have to get political. So that's been interesting to me. And I'm pretty sure, Hank, that's like the obvious answer. You can give us your thoughts on that. But what is something that's not that obvious that happened this past year that will stick with you forever in terms of 2017? Each of you guys answer that question.
Oladipo and Bria Miles.
Outside of that, though, what you say, Hank? Anything that?
I think the rise of the big baller brand, man. I think we'll look back on this year, and for better or worse, aside from Trump, I think the second biggest story has been LeVar Ball.
He's owned the year. He's definitely owned the year.
Definitely.
the things that he's trying to do are commendable. I don't necessarily always agree with his methods and you know, his execution. Shout out to everybody.
Here comes the support for a clown.
Shout out to everybody that's still waiting on their shoes. The Big Baller of St. Louis. So I hope y'all get y'all shoes or at least a refund. But I think the things that he's trying to do make a lot of sense. It's just, you know, he's going against some big systems, and I don't know if he's necessarily the one, and I don't know if his kids are necessarily talented enough to pull off this move. But it would be amazing to me if, you know, we actually get somebody on a LeBron James level, Kobe Bryant level, that
in the words
similar now
Hank,
that they see that
Hank,
you could do.
In the words of Jimmy Williams, they all must die so Zion can live.
Yeah.
You already know. Now the joy. But no, seriously though, I think that he has owned this year, and it's amazing, like spending time with family over the holidays. How this dude is literally a household name, and he came out of nowhere. Like no one knew who he was before March Madness, and everybody knows who he is. This dude is
he just allowed
kind of
at the barbershop. And somehow
no, but it's like I know 400 LeVar Balls, and it's funny to see someone that's probably in all of our lives in our communities take the national stage like this. So he definitely has owned the year right behind Kaepernick. We got I think this is Rob calling from Cali. He called back in. Let's see what Rob wants to say. He's out there in Big Baller Brand Land. Rob.
What's good, man? Yo, it's your boy Big Rob, a.k.a. Yo, and man, because I'm flagrant, tagged myself on the phone in basement, a.k.a. What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Ain't nothing, man. Yo, did you order any Triple B gear, and did you get it yet?
Man, come on, dog. I mean, all I gotta say is this: like, it's just like I support somewhat of his idea. Now the way he's going about it, it can, and you know what? To be honest, it can work. I mean, his as far as
you know what's funny
to
me, the funniest thing about LeVar Ball is like people want to support him, but like they always say, man, I support him, but like the way he goes about it, he makes it difficult for you to ride for him. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, I talk about crazy stuff too. Like my pops want my little brother to become a doctor. I told him, you know, and people who know this in medical field that Cuba got one of the best doctors in the world, and you can go over there and learn for free and come back and make a lot of money. I told him just to go send to Cuba. That may be a little extreme, but you know, it's beneficial. I have no idea what that has to do with LeVar Ball, but I support you and your brother Rob in going to Cuba. Listen, though, we got a couple minutes left. I know you want to talk about something specific in regards to anything we mentioned, so let's talk about it now because we only got a couple minutes left. What do you want to say?
Okay. Well, I really want to hear Dev, but Dev, Mr. Angry Computer Gangster, you know, he gone. You know what I'm saying?
Damn! Dev's gonna hear that in the replay. I'm gonna let that ride because Dev can hear that in the replay. Dev is on community service right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got, you know, he's out there taking care of the less fortunate. But anyway, so you called to take shots at Dev. That's what's up.
But I think you know what happened on Christmas Day with the the Eagles, like I said before, huh?
That the Eagles won.
Oh, I see what it is. You want to take shots at your man
win because of a significant Anglo quarterback.
We called the boy Anglo quarterback. Right. I don't know what Nick Foles. Like, listen, I have no fight in this thing, but because I don't watch football right now. But you got something really like y'all beef with Nick Foles is hilarious.
It's not that I have against Nick Foles. You know, it's just like V. Austin said. The one thing I hate about McNabb is McNabb defenders. You know, the thing I don't like about it's not about Nick Foles is that the people who defend him unapologetically, and he's he's not that guy. Like, he needs to be consistent, and I don't want to hear
let me ask you a question.
excuses
before
like,
we move on,
you know,
we only got
he
a
was
couple
out
minutes
of
left.
sync with. He was
Let me
out
ask you a
of sync
question,
with.
though. You're an Eagles fan, right? So when you watch the game, are you rooting for Nick Foles or against him because you hate him that much? That's all I want to know.
I'm
as an Eagles fan.
I'm rooting for a team. I hope he
So
scores
basically, Saturday was the perfect storm for you, or whatever day it was. The last game was the perfect storm for you, basically on Monday, because your team got the win and he didn't play that well. So you probably enjoyed your Christmas, didn't you?
Listen. My thing as an Eagles fan is I don't care really how he plays in the regular season. At this point, I care about him in the playoffs winning 3 games.
Of course, you're going to move the bar. You're going to move the bar.
But here's my question. Here's my question. Let's just say that he wins 1 game. He doesn't win 3 games. Or he wins 2 games and he doesn't win the big game. He will have done no worse than any Eagles quarterback in the history of the franchise.
That doesn't matter. Rob doesn't like him. He had sex with someone that Rob likes.
I don't like people who defend him and try to say he's just. Come on now, I will pick Deshaun Watson right now over Nick Foles. Come on now, I
would too.
Who else?
I'm about to say no one's arguing with you about that.
Who's defending Nick Foles?
And all I gotta say is basketball. Rondo, I wish that the Lakers would have picked him up because it would have been a good student to, I think, D'Angelo when he was on a Sacramento Kings. He was a free agent. I wish they would have picked him up. Laker fans actually wanted him. I will say this too. There are rumors talking about trading to get DeMarcus Cousins, and they almost did last season, but Mr. Bus, didn't want to give up.
Well, listen, Rob, we got to move on because we only got 1 minute. We got to move on, Rob.
Hopefully get DeMarcus Cousins.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, man. I'll us back earlier next week.
All right, peace. Happy Kwanzaa.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Merry Kukachama.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in Cuba, too, by the way. I don't know what's going on or what they had to do with anything, but shout out to y'all in Cuba, though. We love y'all. We love
we couldn't do the show without Rob, We couldn't do it without you, Rob.
I have no idea what Cuba, Anybody else
that was
understand
the greatest
Cuba
thing in 2017. Shout out to Rob,
What do Cuba got to do with the big baller brand? Like, I thought it was China that he got arrested. Like, he started talking about doctors from Cuba. No, man, said my brother, I told him to be a doctor in Cuba. Anyway, man, with that being said, you guys have pretty much hit it. The 2 biggest stories that I can think of are essentially the big baller brand and also Colin Kaepernick. Now, there's a lot of stories that happen. The NFL in general, the whole.
I think we might have one more big story that was overlooked.
What's that?
Kyrie leaving LeBron to go to the Celtics.
Shout out to the flat earthers. All the flat earthers out there.
Yeah, shout out to the flat earthers. I mean, it got press, but have we ever seen something like that where the second best player on a championship contending team, a finals team, left for their biggest rival? Like that was kind of crazy. The way that
KD. Some would say KD is the second best player with left. But let's see. I'm not saying that. I mean, he never went to their rival essentially. But anyway, with that being said, though, man, could be worse. He could have went to be a doctor in Cuba. Anyway, shout out to all the doctors in Cuba, by the way. You know what I mean? It's time for us to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another briefing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter. Those in the Game Time group we at. I see some people still trying to get on, but we ran out of time, unfortunately. All the callers who called and got through, thank you. Special thanks to Gus Griffin. Tune in next week live right here on Demand on the WRS Podcast Network as we bring in 2018, the first broadcast of the year. And, of course, we'll catch up on everything happening in the association and sports in general. So until then, enjoy your week, and we'll see you back here next time. Everything we do, all of our social media, you can get my book there. Everything is at the hub, warroomsports.com. Don't forget that, warroomsports.com. warroomsports.com. Until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we'll see you chumps on top.
Jimmy, know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dez, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. warroomsports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC, royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dez, TJ, Doc Bay, Lee Austin. I'm shot. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.